Hey everyone, I'm Samriddhi from Samweeks Consulting, and this is Ogi, my client from last year. And yeah, we're here to discuss how the whole journey was and to reflect how how we were able to build such great applications and got like amazing admits with Ogi. So Ogi, do you want to start with introducing yourself?
Sure. Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you for inviting this meeting. And my name is Ogi, and I'm from Mongolia. And last 10 years, I actually living in Japan and working there. And I was working in various startups, including free unicorns. And it was a very big thing for me. But after realizing that I want to step up my career, after I decided to go into MBA, I actually searched many consultant firms, and I actually find Sam Weeks consulting firm, and I'm very happy about my results. I actually got accepted in three top universities, Cambridge, Oxford, and Toronto universities. And today I'm very excited to share this my experience to other people.
So thank you for this lovely introduction, Ogi. And let's dive right into your journey and things about how
Mhm.
you planned the whole thing out and what motivated you in the first place. So my first question to you is, what was the primary reason that motivated you to pursue an MBA?
Oh, that's a very nice question. I have experience in only working in Japan, but I worked in different countries, companies, and throughout my journey, I think I immersed myself. Those experiences actually revealed my true passion, which is facilitating the success of Mongolian companies in global market. And I think the MBA can actually give me um, the no. I think those practical skills actually could benefit from solid theoretical foundation in business. So I think MBA can give me that, and also it can give me the tools and network necessary to become the person who I want to be. So that's why I choose want to go MBA.
Okay. And how did you realize that now is the right time for you to pursue an MBA?
Oh yeah, timing. Actually, I approach my 30th year, and I firmly believe that this is the opportunity moment to advance my career, and also I think my accumulated experience have set the stage, and I think I'm ready to take the next step uh, towards to realizing my goals, and and I think the age perspective was a biggest timing uh, timing for me.
Okay, all right. And as soon as you started your journey, your MBA application journey, what were your first steps?
My first step was searching about schools. So I was first. I also really listening a lot of podcasts, and there is a lot of good podcasts talking about how to apply and how rankings goes. I think the ranking is different if you're looking at in like USA or if you're looking at European country or something like that. And I think that was my first step to looking at the ranks and how to apply, like the beginner things. Yeah.
Okay, and once you figured out the schools that you want to apply to, the next step must have been like taking the GMAT, right? And what was your
Yes.
score? What was the final score you applied with?
Yeah, actually, my first and final score is same. I got 640. I think I actually failed it here, but yeah, 640 is not that bad score, and I think I was the uh, different from other people, I believe. So that's why I entered those big schools with this score.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That definitely makes sense. I mean, for example, like schools like Oxford, Cambridge, they easily have applicants applying with a 700 and probably
Yeah.
you might not even get as much scholarship as you did, right? So somewhere
Yeah.
or the other, I think it was the uniqueness of your profile and what you brought to the table that helped you get these admits. So Ogi, like once you got the score, I remember the first when we met, you had taken the first test and you were preparing for
Yeah.
your second GMAT, right? So
Yes.
how was it working on the application essays and the GMAT like parallelly?
Oh, I actually really stressed it out. My score is not going up. Even though I taking a mock test very good, I almost when I took mock test, I also almost get 730, 740 sometimes. And I thought maybe in on time, maybe I can do more than 640, but unfortunately, I couldn't get that number. And it was very hard for me to because 640 is like bare minimum, so it was very hard for that time. But after talking with you, especially when you told me that my story is very unique and you have very unique background, and that was actually very big for me, and I really thank you for that. And I think that actually moved me to the next steps and applying, writing my essays and everything. So I think overall I'm very happy about my results.
Amazing. So I think now I would want you to tell us more about, um, let's say, how was the application you submitted different from
Mhm.
what you expected going into the process?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. So first, I was thinking about the application is all about my maybe my professional work. But when I deep dive and also talking with you and writing about my whole life and answering my university life and college lives and after every company's lives, and actually it helped me to realize that what kind of life I actually did in my previous life. And also, it felt like more connected with you because you know my story in and out. And like every time I talk with you, like it feels like I'm talking with my childhood friend because you know everything what happened in my life. And also in application, I also did some kind of not only the um, career or university life, also including my personal life. And it was you actually helped me to insert some kind of personal life in my application. I think that made my application more whole, and it shows like um, my story is like wholly into for admission officers. So I think that's the biggest part of the application process, and it helped me to get big results.
Okay, amazing, right? So, how was it researching about the business schools? Like, what did you identify? What were the initiatives or steps you took to learn more about the programs and analyze the fit with your personal goals?
Yes, yeah, especially when I was looking into European schools, I was looking for um, bigger network, for international network. So of course the European universities are stand out because the class is very diverse. And also the same week, the founder of the consulting firm, he actually graduated from Oxford MBA, and so he actually connect me one of his um, classmate, and he told me about how it works, the Oxbridge and MBA schools, and I think that was the biggest insights from the people who already did MBA. So I think that was the biggest thing to learn about. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, since you have done this process entirely, according to you, what was the biggest surprise you encountered during your MBA application journey?
Yeah, it depends on the school because every school has different questions. So some schools has very difficult questions, which is very hard to answer, and some schools have a very interesting interview. Or, for example, Cambridge is only school the interviewers are the teachers,
Mm.
and other schools actually almost alumni are doing the interviews. And for Oxford, the questions are very straightforward. They mostly asking you about like what are you gonna do after MBA, like only that. But other schools, some schools are questioning you like why are you not only applying to MBA, like what are you gonna do about your life or something like that. So I think it depends on the schools, and I think there's a lot of surprise on the way, and there's a lot of discovery on this big journey.
Okay.
And yeah, I think the biggest thing is you find yourself again on this application process. So I think that's the really big thing because not many people actually thinking about like what I did and what I'm gonna do, like thinking about 2 years or 4 years later or something like that. So I think the finding yourself again is a very good thing. I think I did it when I graduating my university for job, looking for job, and I think applying to MBA is the second time, so it was a good thing to do.
Okay, great. And next question to you is one of the key weaknesses in your profile was you worked with multiple firms in a short span of time, right? Um,
Yes.
so did you fear that it will be viewed as one of your weaknesses? How was your perception about this when you were working on your MBA applications?
Yes, I was very worried about it, especially in the last 3 years. I changed 3 times my job, and it actually not sound cool. And also my GMAT score is bad, so I felt like there is too many weakness I have. But after talking with you, my every steps, why I actually changed my jobs, and actually some of them, not because of me, some of them just foreign company, and they decided to go out from Japanese market or something like that. So so yeah, I think I thought it was a weakness, but here is the consultants are very important thing. There, Sam actually told me that this is not a weakness, and this is actually a very unique position because not many people actually did these things. Like not many people under 30 worked in 3 different um, startup, which is actually unicorns. And after I hearing that she actually talked with many students, and I think I really unique. Maybe I thought that, and I actually write it about a lot, and actually applied it on my application a lot. I think that really helped me uh, to use my weakness to my strength on this way.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, while we were putting together your entire SCAR analysis, each and every role that you did was somewhat interconnected to the previous role, and it was a different side of the same business, right? I
Yeah,
remember you were working with platform-based businesses, right?
yeah.
And it was almost like by now you understand the operations of that business from all sides, which actually puts
Yes.
you in a really good position to take on this kind of a role in a startup, let's say, post MBA, where you're developing and scoping and, strategizing to scale a particular startup in a particular job.
Hmm.
So that actually turned out to be a great strength. And I think one of the
Yeah.
key things that it also reflected in was, I mean, Oxford has so many essays, right? Cambridge
Hmm.
application is also very comprehensive, lots of essays.
Hmm.
So for each of the essay, we were able to try and find an anecdote from each of the roles that you did. And that
Yeah.
combined showed that your experience was enriched by having these many companies on your resume. And I think that worked in
Yes.
your favor.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I think yeah, every story I'm telling you about my every each of the companies, I think there is always good story about each of them. So it was very like colorful application for me. Yeah.
Okay. You were heavily involved in multiple extracurriculars, as I recall, right? So,
Yes.
how do you think we were able to utilize your extracurriculars in your MBA application?
Yes, actually, I did a lot of thing. I didn't know that. I thought it's a small thing at first, but Sam actually told me that how many hours actually did work in there, like something like that. She asked me that question, and after I answering that question, I realized that, oh yeah, I really did many things. Yeah, and most of them actually connected with my work, especially most of them helping Mongolian startups to grow or into some new markets such as Japanese market or Hong Kong market. And after I realizing that it actually connected to my work, also connects to my end goal, also connects to MBA. So this was a good thing to mention on my application. And in application, there is not many space for you write about it, but Sam actually helped me to have to summarize the main things of my free extracurricular. And yeah, I think that's really helped me to really add another color my application.
Oh, perfect. And uh, what was the most difficult part for you in the entire journey?
Most difficult part, absolutely GMAT. But aside from GMAT, I think other thing was not that bad because writing about application essays, every small questions, I was always consulted with you, and it was a big help from you. And yeah, I felt never alone. And yeah, I think that is the biggest thing because on the way of the application, when the deadline is coming, you'll be more stressed, especially you're working. Or actually, at that time, my first child actually just born. So yeah, it was a very bumpy road, but with your help, actually, it was very clear highway.
Yeah.
And I think aside from GMAT, it was not that hard, especially you have a lot, many stories you want to tell. And I think Sam actually got out many stories from me. And even I didn't know about this story.
But to be honest, this was like an inherent thing in you. Like, I remember we had like a first few brainstorming sessions, and you used to open up to me, and I used to take down notes, and we used to just, freely discuss your life up
Yeah,
until
yeah,
now. And the minute you started picking up that, these details are important and these represent you truly, I think
yeah,
that's when you also like, got a grasp of I need to give any and every detail to her and, like
yeah,
put everything on the paper.
yeah,
There's nothing in your mind. I mean, there were a lot of
yeah,
vulnerable moments that we shared. A lot of times,
yeah,
like for example, your daughter was recently born, and I
yeah,
could see that you were juggling your GMAT, your application work, and your daughter supporting the family, and of course work. So yeah, all in all, it was overall a good ride. Um,
yeah. It was a good ride. Yeah, yeah. And I think I have to mention that um, yeah, there is a time that so I think the people don't know about how to tell a story. Like if you're talking about your life, maybe one or three or four stories are very important for you. But when you mention about your whole life, and then some of the stories are maybe you didn't know that they are very important. But actually, Sam choose two of my stories from different aspect, and I think so when I think about the application, I thinking about the questions. Maybe I wrote about this, but actually, after Sam mentioned about the little story, I barely mentioned, and after I writing about that, it actually makes more sense. And so consulting with other people is actually very big help for your application, especially it will be like not only tunnel side, it became more bigger side. So I think it's a very good thing to do.
Thank you so much. My next question to you is, out of interviews and writing essays, which of these two did you find more challenging?
Challenging one is I think the Duke 25 um things about you. I think that was the biggest challenge for me because I wanted to mention all of the things, but also I wanted to make it not random. And it's actually a very hard question. And I think I failed there because I didn't get a call from Duke. So, but anyways, I think it was a good experience, and I really want to make it more colorful. And yeah, I think that was the hardest question for me.
Okay. And how was the experience going into the interviews? Your first interview was with
Tuck, Dartmouth, yeah,
yes, yeah.
with Tuck Business School, yeah.
Yeah, I think Tuck, I think worked on the application on your own, right? Oh,
Yes.
okay. And how was it? Like, I think around the time when you were interviewing for Tuck, I remember you telling me, and I think we might have done a mock for
Yeah,
Tuck.
we did mock.
We did a mock.
Yeah.
How was that first interview?
So the first one, maybe most of the people always fail in the first one. I don't know, but I failed it. But it was a good experience because I knew that after talk, I have more experience. I I felt more experienced, and I knew that there will be more interviews on the way. So it actually helped me to harden up myself. um, why I failed is actually I just became more stiff. Like I remembered like all the answers, and I tried to like answer automatically. So I think that was a failure. And actually, Sam told me that don't be read scripts, just be yourself, just be like talking with me. And yeah, but I failed it. And after that, I actually tried to be more like myself. And even though my English is a little bit broken, I think it. I think after the talk, I interviewed with Toronto, Oxford, and Cambridge. Most of them actually felt very nice because I became myself and felt more connected with interviewers. So I think that's why the results are good. Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, your Oxford interview was in person.
Yes, it was in person. I was at that time in Japan, and Oxford has a Japan center, and one of the admission officers actually came to visit in Japan.
Okay. So
Yeah.
virtual interviews versus in-person interviews, which one did you feel like, you were like more comfortable in and you could just authentically be you?
Oh yeah, I think the in person is actually more. You can be authentic, because you can actually see anything. Like you can switch your screens or something like that, and you will be more comfortable because you're talking with person and you can see her your interview's eye, and also you can use body language freely. So I think in person is best to interview, but when you're interviewing in online, there's of course a lot of good pro and con on the both way. But I prefer in person. If you have a chance to do an interview in person, I will advise you to take a in person one.
Okay. Okay. I absolutely agree with you on this. So what I wanted to ask you, Ogi, what do you think is your advice to people when they are trying to identify their consultant and how should they approach the process?
Yeah. So if you think you need a consultant, I think um, if you have somebody who is close with you who already went B schools, then maybe you don't need maybe you already have your consultant. But if you don't have any other person who actually helped you on your process, then I think I really recommend that to taking a consultant. And if you're taking a consultant, I want to give advice that you want to share your all things with your consultant, especially your personal life, career life, your goal, your dream, everything. If you not shared enough, maybe then your consultant and you will be missed out some good thing. So if you're taking consultant, please share everything you have. So I think I shared my whole life with Sam, and it actually connect us, and it feels like I'm talking with my friend, and she is actually my friend. It feels like talking with my childhood friend. So yeah, I believe sharing is actually help your process.
So finally, you had three admits, right? One
Yeah,
from Cambridge with a 30,000 pound scholarship, one from Oxford with the same scholarship, and one from Rotman with um, 30,000 Canadian dollars in scholarship.
yeah.
So almost like Oxford and Cambridge, at least like same scholarship, similar region,
Mhm.
a lot of similarities are there between the two schools. What made
Yeah.
you really choose that, you will be a better fit at Cambridge than the rest of the two really good admits that you had on the table?
Yes, it was really hard decision for me, and I felt like if I wrongly choose this one, maybe my MBA journey will be way more different. But after all, I talked with all of their alumni. I talked with Toronto alumni. I talked with Cambridge, also Oxford alumni, and it helped me to re- um, rethink about my career and rethink about my post MBA goal. And after I decided want to go to more international MBA, then I decided to Oxford or Cambridge. And after I narrowed my choices, then I talked with two more alumni from both schools. And because if you're hearing only one person, I think that will be very hard to choose. So I talked with mostly similar like me who are tech guy or tech woman or working in tech companies or post MBA they're doing a tech working in tech companies. So after talking with them and like learning about their cultures, I learned that Cambridge is more cluster because there is a lot of research students there, and they're doing a lot of starting their startups. And I think Cambridge is the biggest cluster in Europe. I think it's Silicon. Um,
Silicon
so Cambridge, yeah, Silicon. So yeah, Cambridge is yeah, you can say that it's Silicon Valley in Europe. So yeah, I decided to Cambridge because of that. I felt that I learned more about startups, how they're growing themselves, and how they going entering the another market. So my goal is to helping Mongolian startups. So I want to learn from there.
Perfect. All right. Last question. Any advice that you have for people applying this year?
This year,
Yeah.
this year I think there is a lot fierce competition in this year because after this many things happening in and around the world, I think there's a lot of people thinking about MBA. It's a good choice, but I will tell them that I didn't decide it before applying to MBA because I didn't know about this 2 year MBA and 1 year MBA difference, and I felt if you want to apply to 2 year MBA, then just like do the research why some schools are 1 year and why some schools are 2 year. So I think there is a lot of pro con in both schools. So I think it's better to narrow it down on these schools. If you want to go to your school, then just only apply to your schools. I think that will be more saving your time. Yeah, and there will be a lot of things you do, but time is very precious. So um, wisely use your time. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And you speak in English after how many months now? 3 months?
Oh, yeah, 3 months later. Yeah. So sorry about my English, but I hope my English became better after I joining in Cambridge. So yeah,
Perfect. It was lovely connecting with you today, Ogi. And I'm
yeah,
so glad that we got a chance to work together. And all the best to your mate. Cheers.
yeah. And thank you very much for your all work. And I wish your all students gonna be take big results. And really wish you luck too.
Thank you so much. High five.
High five.
All right.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you so much. Take care. See ya.